Most people think SAP SuccessFactors is just a set of HR modules: recruiting, performance, learning, compensation. But that perception is dangerously incomplete, because behind those modules lies something much more powerful and much more complex. SAP SuccessFactors is not just HR software. It is a cloud-based HR platform architecture designed to manage the entire employee life cycle, from the moment someone applies for a job to the moment they leave the organization. And if you want to become a SuccessFactors consultant, HR transformation specialist, or even a technical integration expert, understanding this architecture is not optional, it is essential. In this video series, we are going to break down SAP SuccessFactors step by step, module by module, so you understand not only what each component does, but how they all connect together. Because once you understand the architecture, SuccessFactors stops looking like a confusing group of HR tools and starts making sense as a unified system. So let's begin with the most fundamental idea. What exactly is SAP SuccessFactors? At its core, SuccessFactors is SAP's cloud-based human capital management platform. Traditional SAP HR systems like SAP HCM were installed on company servers. They required infrastructure, system upgrades, and heavy maintenance. SuccessFactors works differently. It operates as a software as a service platform. That means companies don't install it locally. Instead, they access it through the cloud. This shift changes everything. Instead of maintaining hardware, companies subscribe to the service. Instead of waiting years for upgrades, the system evolves continuously. Instead of rigid on-premise architecture, organizations gain flexible global HR capabilities. This cloud model allows organizations to manage employees, HR processes, analytics, and talent development through one unified environment. But the most important thing to understand is this: SuccessFactors is not just one system. It is an ecosystem of connected HR modules built around a central core. And that central core is something we will talk about repeatedly throughout this series. Employee Central. Think of Employee Central as the heart of SuccessFactors. Every employee record, job position, organizational structure, and employment lifecycle event lives there. Recruiting depends on it. Performance management references it. Compensation planning uses its data. Analytics reports pull from it. Without Employee Central, the rest of the SuccessFactors ecosystem cannot function effectively. This is why many SuccessFactors implementations start with Employee Central. Once that core HR data model is established, other modules can attach to it and extend HR processes across the organization. But the architecture doesn't stop there. SuccessFactors also connects to other enterprise systems, payroll systems, SAP/4HANA, financial systems, analytics platforms. These integrations allow employee data to flow across the entire enterprise landscape. And that is where the architecture becomes truly powerful. SuccessFactors is not just HR software, it becomes the central digital HR platform for the entire organization. Understanding this architecture is what separates casual users from real consultants. Because when you understand the structure of the system, you can understand how implementations work, how integrations happen, and how organizations transform their HR processes. In the next part of this series, we will dive deeper into the core foundation of the SuccessFactors architecture, the module that sits at the center of everything, Employee Central. Because if you understand Employee Central, you understand the foundation of the entire SuccessFactors ecosystem. If SAP SuccessFactors were a city, Employee Central would be its infrastructure: the roads, the electricity, the water system. Everything else depends on it. Employee Central is the core HR data engine of the entire SuccessFactors ecosystem. Before Employee Central existed, many organizations relied on traditional HR systems, where employee data was scattered across multiple tools. One system managed employee records, another managed payroll, another handled talent management. This fragmentation created problems, data inconsistencies, manual updates, reporting difficulties. Employee Central was designed to solve that problem. It acts as the single source of truth for employee data. Inside Employee Central, organizations store and manage critical HR information such as employee personal data, job information, organizational assignments, compensation structures, employment history, manager relationships, position management. This information forms the foundation for all HR processes in the company. When a new employee joins an organization, the hiring process begins in the recruiting module. But once the employee is officially hired, the record is created inside Employee Central. From that moment forward, Employee Central becomes the master record. Promotions update job information. Transfers update organizational assignments. Salary changes update compensation data. All of these updates flow through the Employee Central data structure, but Employee Central does more than simply store information. It manages the employee lifecycle, hiring, role changes, leave management, organizational restructuring, termination processes. Every major HR event passes through Employee Central. This centralized structure allows companies to manage large global workforces with clarity and consistency. Imagine an international company with employees across multiple countries. Each country may have different labor regulations, job classifications, and reporting structures. Employee Central provides the framework to manage all of that complexity within a unified system. Another critical feature of Employee Central is position management. Position management allows organizations to define structured job roles within the company. Instead of simply assigning employees to departments, organizations create defined positions within the organizational hierarchy. For example, senior HR manager, finance analyst, operations supervisor. Each position has responsibilities, reporting lines, and organizational context. Employees are then assigned to those positions. This structure allows organizations to visualize and manage their workforce more strategically. Another key concept within Employee Central is the organizational structure model. Companies define their departments, divisions, and reporting structures inside the system. This hierarchy helps determine manager relationships, approval workflows, compensation planning, performance reviews. Without this structure, the rest of the SuccessFactors modules would lack context, because modules like performance management or succession planning rely heavily on understanding who reports to whom and how the organization is structured. Employee Central also plays a critical role in system integration. Many companies still run payroll systems outside of SuccessFactors. Employee Central acts as the data provider for those payroll systems. Employee information flows from SuccessFactors into payroll engines, ensuring accurate salary payments and compliance. This integration capability is what allows SuccessFactors to function as a central HR hub even when other systems remain part of the enterprise landscape. Understanding Employee Central is the first major milestone in becoming a SuccessFactors consultant. Because once you understand the core data model, every other module in the system becomes easier to understand. In the next part of this series, we will explore how other SuccessFactors modules connect to Employee Central and extend HR processes across the organization. Once you understand Employee Central, the rest of the SuccessFactors ecosystem starts to make sense. Employee Central is the core, but the real power of SAP SuccessFactors comes from the modules that extend HR capabilities around that core system. Think of SuccessFactors like a hub and spoke model. Employee Central sits in the center. Around it are specialized modules that manage different parts of the employee lifecycle. Each module focuses on a specific HR process. Together, they create a complete digital HR platform. Let's explore how these modules fit together. The first major module is recruiting. Recruiting allows companies to manage job postings, candidate applications, interview processes, and hiring decisions. When a candidate is selected, the recruiting system transfers the candidate's information into Employee Central, where they officially become an employee. This transition is critical because it connects talent acquisition with the core HR system. Next comes onboarding. Onboarding ensures that once a candidate becomes an employee, their transition into the organization is smooth. The system guides new employees through documentation, compliance forms, orientation processes, and training steps. It also ensures that managers, IT teams, and HR departments coordinate properly during the employees' first days. After employees begin their work journey, organizations need to manage performance. This is where the Performance and Goals module enters the picture. Performance management allows organizations to define goals, track employee progress, conduct performance reviews, and evaluate employee contributions. Managers can track how employees perform relative to expectations and organizational goals. These performance evaluations become important inputs for another module, compensation. The compensation module allows organizations to manage salary adjustments, bonuses, and reward structures. Instead of disconnected spreadsheets, companies can manage compensation planning directly inside the HR system. This ensures fairness, transparency, and alignment with organizational policies. Another critical module is learning management. The learning module allows organizations to deliver training programs, certifications, and employee development initiatives. Employees can complete courses, track learning progress, and build skills that support their career growth. Companies use this module to maintain compliance training, leadership programs, and professional development initiatives. Then comes succession and development. This module helps organizations identify future leaders and plan workforce development strategies. Companies can identify high potential employees, prepare them for leadership roles, and ensure that critical positions always have successors ready. Together, these modules form what we call the SuccessFactors Talent Management Suite. And the key thing to understand is this. Every one of these modules relies on data from Employee Central, employee records, manager relationships, organizational structures. Without that core data foundation, the talent modules cannot function effectively. This interconnected structure is what allows SuccessFactors to manage the entire employee life cycle, from recruitment to retirement, from hiring to leadership development. But there is another critical layer in this architecture, integration, because HR systems rarely operate alone. In the next part, we will explore how SuccessFactors connects to the broader enterprise landscape, including SAP S/4HANA. HR systems do not exist in isolation. In large organizations, HR platforms must interact with many other enterprise systems, finance systems, payroll engines, ERP platforms, analytics tools. This is where integration becomes one of the most important aspects of the SuccessFactors architecture, because while SuccessFactors manages HR processes, other systems may manage financial transactions, payroll calculations, or operational data. To create a unified enterprise environment, these systems must exchange information. Let's look at one of the most common integration scenarios: SuccessFactors integrated with SAP S/4HANA. In many organizations, SuccessFactors manages employee data, while S/4HANA manages business operations. For example, Employee Central stores employee master data, but payroll processing might happen in another system, or financial cost allocations might occur inside S/4HANA. To make this work, employee data must flow between systems. This is achieved through integration technologies. One of the most important integration technologies used with SuccessFactors is SAP Integration Suite, formerly known as SAP Cloud Platform Integration (CPI). Integration Suite acts as a bridge between cloud systems and enterprise applications. It allows organizations to move data securely between systems. For example, employee data from SuccessFactors can be sent to S/4HANA. Payroll results can be returned to HR systems. Organizational changes can be synchronized across platforms. This integration capability allows SuccessFactors to function as the central HR hub in a complex enterprise landscape. Another important integration capability involves APIs. SuccessFactors exposes APIs that allow external systems to retrieve or update HR data. This means third-party systems, custom applications, or analytics platforms can interact with SuccessFactors. For example, a workforce analytics platform may pull employee data through APIs. A benefit system may retrieve employee eligibility information. A payroll provider may synchronize compensation data. These integrations ensure that employee data remains consistent across the enterprise. But integration is not only technical, it is strategic. Organizations implementing SuccessFactors must decide how HR data will flow across their technology landscape. Which system is the master record? Which system processes payroll? Which system handles analytics? These architectural decisions determine how successful an implementation will be. This is why understanding SuccessFactors architecture is so important for consultants, because successful implementations depend not only on configuring modules, but also on designing the right system architecture. In the next part of this series, we will explore another critical aspect of SuccessFactors: talent management and performance systems. Because managing employee performance and development is one of the core reasons organizations adopt SuccessFactors. Once organizations successfully manage employee data and talent acquisition through SuccessFactors, the next major challenge emerges: how do you measure and reward employee performance? This is where two critical modules come into play: performance and goals, compensation. Together, these modules help organizations evaluate employees, align them with company objectives, and reward high performance. Let's begin with performance and goals. Performance management is one of the most important HR processes inside any organization. Companies must ensure that employees are not only working, but working toward the right goals. The Performance and Goals module allows organizations to define strategic objectives and align employee activities with those objectives. At the beginning of a performance cycle, managers and employees work together to define goals. These goals may relate to revenue targets, project milestones, operational improvements, or leadership development. Each goal becomes part of the employee's performance plan. Throughout the year, employees update their progress, Managers can track performance metrics and provide feedback. This continuous visibility ensures that employees remain aligned with organizational priorities. But performance management is not only about goals, it also includes performance reviews. During review cycles, managers evaluate employees based on performance metrics, behavioral competencies, and organizational values. SuccessFactors allows organizations to configure review templates, rating scales, and evaluation workflows. Peer reviews can also be incorporated into the process. This gives organizations a broader perspective on employee performance. Another important feature of the module is continuous feedback. Instead of waiting for annual reviews, managers and colleagues can provide feedback throughout the year. This encourages ongoing communication and employee development. Now let's look at how performance connects to compensation. Compensation planning is one of the most sensitive processes within HR. Salary adjustments, bonuses, and rewards must be handled carefully to maintain fairness and transparency. Traditionally, compensation planning was managed through spreadsheets, but spreadsheets create risks, data inconsistencies, calculation errors, lack of visibility. SuccessFactors solves this through the compensation module. The compensation module allows HR teams to design compensation cycles based on organizational policies. Managers receive compensation planning worksheets that display employee data such as current salary, performance ratings, budget allocations, recommended increases. The system can automatically calculate suggested salary increases based on predefined rules. For example, high-performing employees may receive larger salary increases. Employees in critical roles may qualify for retention bonuses. Managers can review compensation proposals and adjust them within defined budget limits. HR teams maintain oversight of the entire process, ensuring compliance with compensation policies. Another advantage of this integrated approach is transparency. Because performance ratings are connected directly to compensation planning, organizations can ensure that rewards align with actual performance outcomes. This alignment strengthens employee trust and motivation. Employees understand that strong performance leads to meaningful recognition. For organizations, this creates a powerful link between strategy and employee behavior. Performance management defines expectations. Compensation reinforces those expectations. Together, they drive organizational performance. In the next part of this series, we will explore another key component of the SuccessFactors ecosystem: learning and employee development. Because organizations that invest in employee growth are the ones that build sustainable competitive advantage. Organizations today face a new challenge. Technology evolves rapidly, industries transform, skills become outdated faster than ever before. In this environment, companies cannot rely solely on hiring new talent. They must continuously develop the talent they already have. This is where the learning management system, often referred to as LMS, becomes critical. The SuccessFactors learning module provides organizations with a centralized platform for employee training and development. Instead of scattered training programs and disconnected systems, companies can manage all learning activities within one environment. The learning module allows organizations to create structured training programs. These programs may include compliance training, technical certifications, leadership development, professional skill courses. Employees can access training content through an online learning portal. Courses may include videos, assessments, reading materials, or interactive exercises. Managers can assign mandatory training programs to employees based on their role or department. For example, employees in finance departments may need compliance training related to financial regulations. Managers may be required to complete leadership development programs. IT employees may need certifications for specific technologies. The system tracks training completion automatically. This tracking capability is extremely important for regulatory compliance. In industries such as healthcare, banking, or manufacturing, organizations must prove that employees have completed required training. The learning module provides that documentation. Another powerful feature of the system is personalized learning paths. Organizations can design career development programs that guide employees through specific learning journeys. For example, an employee who wants to move into a management role may follow a leadership development path that includes multiple courses and certifications. Employees can track their progress and build skills over time. Managers gain visibility into employee development progress. This allows leaders to identify high potential employees and prepare them for future leadership roles. The learning module also integrates with other SuccessFactors modules. Performance management data can identify skill gaps. Learning programs can address those gaps. Succession planning can use learning records to evaluate candidate readiness. In other words, learning is not isolated. It becomes part of a broader talent development strategy. Companies that successfully implement learning platforms create a culture of continuous development. Employees are not simply performing tasks, they are building capabilities. And those capabilities allow organizations to adapt to changing market conditions. This is one of the reasons many companies invest heavily in digital learning platforms, because in modern organizations, talent development is not optional, it is a strategic necessity. In the next part of this series, we will explore another powerful aspect of the success factors ecosystem: HR analytics and workforce intelligence. Because the real power of modern HR systems lies not only in managing employees but in understanding workforce data. Modern HR systems are no longer just about managing employees, they are about understanding the workforce. For decades, HR departments focused mainly on administrative tasks: hiring employees, managing payroll, tracking employee records, handling compliance. But today, organizations expect much more from HR. Executives want answers to questions such as: which departments have the highest employee turnover? Which teams produce the highest performance outcomes? Which employees are ready for leadership roles? Where are the future skill gaps in the organization? These questions cannot be answered with spreadsheets. They require data. This is where people analytics becomes one of the most powerful capabilities inside SAP SuccessFactors. People analytics transforms HR data into strategic insights. Instead of simply storing employee information, the system analyzes workforce patterns and trends. This allows organizations to make better decisions about hiring, development, and talent strategy. Inside SuccessFactors, People Analytics allows HR teams to create advanced workforce reports. These reports can include information such as employee demographics, performance ratings, compensation distribution, promotion rates, turnover patterns, training completion rates. By analyzing this data, organizations can understand how their workforce is evolving. For example, an HR team might discover that employee turnover is significantly higher in one department compared to others. This insight allows leaders to investigate the cause. Perhaps workload is too high, perhaps leadership training is needed, perhaps compensation structures need adjustment. Without analytics, these issues remain hidden. Another powerful capability of people analytics is predictive insight. Organizations can identify patterns that indicate potential future risks. For example, employees who receive low performance ratings over multiple review cycles may be more likely to leave the company. Departments with low training engagement may experience declining productivity. By identifying these signals early, organizations can intervene before problems escalate. This is why workforce analytics is increasingly considered a strategic capability. HR is no longer simply managing employees. HR is shaping organizational strategy. SuccessFactors also integrates analytics across different modules. Performance data connects with compensation decisions. Learning data connects with career development plans. Recruiting data connects with workforce planning. These connections create a holistic view of the workforce. Leaders can understand not only who works in the organization, but how the organization is evolving. Another important concept in modern HR analytics is data driven decision making. In the past, HR decisions were often based on intuition. Today, organizations rely on data. Executives expect HR leaders to provide insights supported by analytics. For example, instead of saying we think training programs improve performance, HR teams can show data proving the relationship between training completion and performance outcomes. This evidence based approach increases the credibility of HR leadership. SuccessFactors enables this transformation. It turns HR into a strategic partner within the organization. Because when HR leaders understand workforce data, they can help shape the future of the company. And that is the real power of modern HR platforms. In the final part of this series, we will step back from the system itself and discuss something equally important: how professionals can build careers in the SuccessFactors ecosystem. Because understanding the technology is only the first step. Knowing how to use that knowledge professionally is what turns learning into opportunity. Understanding SAP SuccessFactors is valuable. But for many people watching this series, the real question is, how can this knowledge turn into a career? SAP SuccessFactors consultants play an important role in helping organizations transform their HR systems. Companies implementing SuccessFactors need specialists who understand both the technology and the HR processes behind it. These consultants guide organizations through implementation, configuration, integration, and long-term system optimization. There are several types of professionals working in the SuccessFactors ecosystem. The first category is functional consultants. Functional consultants focus on business processes. They work with HR departments to understand organizational requirements and configure SuccessFactors modules accordingly. For example, a recruiting consultant might design hiring workflows and candidate evaluation processes. A performance consultant might configure performance review templates and goal management structures. Functional consultants translate business needs into system configurations. The second category is technical consultants. Technical consultants focus on integrations, data migration, and system architecture. They work with tools like SAP Integration Suite, APIs, and middleware technologies to connect SuccessFactors with other enterprise systems. For example, integrating SuccessFactors with payroll systems, connecting SuccessFactors to SAP S/4HANA, migrating employee data during implementations. Technical consultants ensure that systems communicate correctly. Another important role is the implementation project manager. Project managers oversee the entire SuccessFactors implementation. They coordinate timelines, manage stakeholders, control risks, and ensure that project milestones are achieved. Because HR transformation projects often involve multiple modules and large organizational changes, strong project management is essential. For professionals entering the SAP ecosystem, SuccessFactors offers significant opportunities. Demand for cloud HR solutions continues to grow as organizations modernize their HR systems. Companies across industries are replacing traditional HR platforms with cloud based systems. This transformation creates strong demand for consultants who understand success factors, architecture, and modules. However, becoming a consultant requires more than simply learning module names. Successful consultants understand HR processes, system architecture, data structures, integration concepts, business transformation strategies. They combine technical knowledge with business understanding. This is why learning success factors step by step, module by module, is so important. Because real expertise comes from understanding how the system operates as a complete ecosystem. If you have followed this entire series, you now understand the foundation of that ecosystem. You know the architecture, you know the modules, you understand the role of Employee Central, you understand how integrations work, and you understand how HR analytics transforms workforce strategy. This knowledge forms the starting point for deeper specialization. Whether you choose to focus on recruiting, learning systems, integration architecture, or HR transformation consulting, the SuccessFactors platform offers a wide range of career paths. And as organizations continue to adopt cloud HR platforms, professionals with these skills will remain in high demand. SuccessFactors is not just software. For many professionals, it becomes the gateway to an entire career in the SAP ecosystem.